From dirt to the sky, I'm still searching for you.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
You disgust me.
Who gives a shit?
Go on.
I made it the fuck up.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. It's glorious! And I run.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is your T-shirted historian, and welcome to Tuesday with Geeks, otherwise known as Twig.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Hey.
Archer Colin, nice to see you, man. All right. I have kind of a little bit of a lot of show and tell tonight, but some of it will relate to stuff that we're talking about. And I do have a lot of stuff we can talk about tonight, so more than likely we're not going to be able to get to all of it in the hour, so we'll have to save some of it for the Week in Geek at the end of the week. But since this is Twig, and it's kind of our slightly more casual night, and I have Optimus with me tonight, I thought you guys would appreciate this.
Ooh. There he is.
There he is. This is not the Hasbro. This is the Action Force.
Oh, my, even better.
Yeah, this is from Valaverse. The sculpts are different. He has a little bit more of a chin going on this. The hat is removable. The glasses don't wear as well. He comes with just about as many fists. And as you can see, Valaverse has the window on the box, so you see what you're getting. And this is kind of cool. This actually has the file card. This is something I am missing so much from the class. I'm like, how hard would it have been to add a file card to all your guys, Hasbro?
That's something they're doing all around. You don't see so much narrative anymore on the Transformers boxes either.
That's because kids are, I don't know, dumb and don't know the story and don't care and don't read. I don't know.
No, they want to have one simple uniform package design they can kind of copy paste.
Yeah.
And if they were to go and do that, they would have to take the time and format it and actually put in a little bit of extra effort.
Oh no, are you telling me they don't want to have any effort?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah. He's got like a vest and a backpack. The vest that you can put on. I'm scared to put it on because I don't want to bust the hands off. But it can be done. I haven't done it. Yes, I did pull it out and mess around with it.
He opened his toys.
Yeah, I did. Well, I'm going to die someday and somebody's got to open them. The 44 fits very snugly into the holster. I was kind of happy. Plus, it's like a quick draw holster. Then he's got a grenade launcher. He's got a marine style cover, which kind of resembles gung ho's. The main difference between the two Sergeant Slaughters is this is made with a slightly stiffer and harder grade of plastic, so it is not as flexible overall. I mean, it's not brittle, but it's noticeably not as flexible. So
He looks great.
Hmm?
He looks great, though. I mean, kudos. That's. I had no idea. I haven't seen that before.
yeah, I was surprised too. I just happened to come across this, in an advertisement in the web, and I'm like, oh my god, it's another Sergeant Slaughter. Well, I gotta get them both. Yeah, Maliki, but this is the Action Force. This is the Action Force Sergeant Slaughter Maliki. This is not the Hasbro G.I. Joe one. I have that one also over here, but yeah, the plastic's a little bit of a stiffer grade. I don't know how it's going to hold up after 30 years or so. I mean, chances are I won't hold up for 30 years, but whoever gets it after me, I don't know what shape he's going to be in, but hopefully he'll still be around. I mean, I'm sure he's going to outlast me. But there were other things back there. I almost kind of wish that I had Grimm on here, just because I know he's more of an Action Force guy than I am, because obviously, Britain. But there you go. I mean, we got a Sergeant Slaughter for Action Force, and we got a Sergeant Slaughter for the United States. So we good both ways, and I have them both, and I can add this to my little collection of Sergeant Slaughters. It's probably the only figures I won't ever get rid of.
Yeah,
Add it to the Slaughter Shrine.
Yeah, the Slaughter Shrine. Basically, I got the 4 original Sergeant Slaughters. Now I got the 2 new ones. So hey, I feel blessed.
Nice.
These literally just came in.
Before you transition to another figure here, there's a question in chat that's relevant.
What?
From Archer Colin.
Oh, is Action Force connected to the G.I. Joe universe? Yeah, Action Force is what G.I. Joe was called overseas. Yeah. Maliki, there are 2 versions of Snake Eyes with Timber. I have one of them. There's another one. And both the Snake Eyes and the Timber are completely different. Like they're different sculpts. They look different and everything. The one I have is kind of a little bit more ninja badass. It looks more like the Series 2 Snake Eyes.
Yeah, the Ninja Snake Eyes, and then the other one is the Commando. The original Commando look.
Yeah, I do want to get the Commando one at some point, but I had to get the Ninja one first. It just looks cooler. If you have never seen this film, you absolutely should. This is Gary Busey as the lead in Eye of the Tiger. This is an old film from back in the... when was this thing made? Back in the 90s? 1986. 1986. Yes. This film is really fun. It's like the most savage, hardcore revenge film I've seen in a very long time. I mean, it's right up there with The Exterminator and the Death Wish series. At one point, Gary Busey gets a confessional out of a guy by literally lubing up a stick of dynamite and ramming it up his ass and lighting it. Yes, that happens in the film.
That'll do the trick.
Yeah. Also, you do get to see a dude get decapitated with a piano wire.
I mean, it's certainly no Highlander 2 where a guy gets decapitated with like a extension cord.
That was kind of dumb, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yes, if you can hunt this one down, get it. It's a Kino Lorber. Thank you very much, Kino Lorber, for keeping my 1980s dreams alive. I can't wait to watch it. I literally just got this like minutes before the show started. So I know what I will be doing afterward, but not before I watch this. This is Fist of the North Star, Legend of the True Savior, Legend of Rao, Chapter of Fierce Fighting. This is the 3rd of the new Fist of the North Star OVAs that they released several years ago. It's not the last one, but it is basically it's the follow-up to the original one that started it all. This is the one that actually has the showdown between Rao and Kenshiro, and it also has oh god, what's his name? The Mountain. Fudo the Mountain. It has that battle in it. Good stuff. I've already seen it before, but now I have it on Blu-ray. It's in, American translation, everything. Real nice. Discotheque Media, and yes, Ironcaster, we're about to segue into Discotheque.
Oh, I'm so glad you set those up that way.
Yeah. I set us up that way because we have some really, really cool stuff to announce coming out from Discotheque. And
Which to kind of get into a little bit, for anyone who is unaware, Discotheque is a prominent DVD manufacturer for a lot of anime, a lot of Japanese imports. That's kind of their bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a tendency to go for a lot more of the kind of more nostalgic franchises and grab up those licenses because no one else is doing it.
Yeah, and they have some really, really nice titles under their belt, like including those Fist of the North Star films, but they also have like Violence Jack, and some other ones. I'd have to go through my shelf to really find all of them. But thanks to Discotheque Media, I have managed to find a lot of my old 80s movies that are long out of print and were only on VHS. And I got them on nice, shiny new Blu-ray. So the prints look really good. But yeah, let's take a look. They just posted this up. This is their March releases for March 2024. So we have The Little Mermaid, right? This is the Japanese version. They have Lovely Complex. I've never seen this.
Oddly enough, with that particular title, I think it was about a day or two ago, like within the past week, Riff Tracks just put out a like one of their comedy commentaries for that film.
Metabots, which actually I think Ironcaster's more excited about than I am.
Like, I figure, looking over this list, something from, I'm a little bit younger than you, and I remember when that was on, that was pretty hyped, and plus it's robots. Not only that, they're like almost kind of Pokemon-esque robots where you would have your two little Metabots fighting with one another. And if you won, you got to take like the arms or the legs or various body parts of the enemy. So there was a kind of a cool little bit of that almost gambling aesthetic to it.
Nice. Fuda Koi, which I've never heard of. We'll skip over that one. And yes, the final Fist of the North Star OVA, Legend of the True Savior Kenshiro Zeroden, which is this one is cool. This is going to round it all out, and I'm surprised they only put it on one disc and didn't package it with Legend of Rao. But
T-shirt, I think you might have kind of slightly.
I didn't. Did I what?
You kind of missed something there.
No, I didn't. I didn't miss it. I'm not done yet.
You mean you're not going to go in order?
Shh. Stop. I already pre-ordered this. But yeah, this is really cool. This is something that's never been shown before. This is this is what happens between the time that Kenshiro was attacked by Shin and Yuria was taken away from him. So you finally see how he survived, what he did, how he got kind of basically back on his feet, and what set him down on his path to hunting down Shin at the beginning of the Fist of the North Star series. So absolutely a must-have. And yeah, so there you go. There's those. Yeah. And I don't think I missed anything, did I? We're fine. Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, oh well, yeah, they did have this one little extra thing. I'm sure nobody really cares about it. But I'll put it up anyway.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I heard about this series.
Yeah,
the littlest bit of edgy.
It's supposed to be a little bit edgy. I think the creator died not too long ago. But no, dudes, this is Berserk. This is the 1997 TV series version. Jesus. This is the one.
That's
This is the one you have to pay like $200 for from the scalpers on eBay. And it's not necessarily even a good print because it's made off of DVDs. And I had the original series, but I, through circumstances not of my own control, I lost them all. But anyway, and that's my chance to get them back. This is all of them. This is the 1997 original animated series, the one that looks good. The one that also starts with the Black Swordsman arc.
Was this the one that had? Hang on, was this the better series? Because I've read a little bit of Berserk, but I haven't finished it.
Yeah, this is better, but the thing is, it's incomplete.
Right.
So here's what I'm gonna say about it. If you watch this series and then you watch the Golden Age arc, basically the first 3 OVA movies from the latest series, you have a really perfect picture of how Berserk starts. Because between the two series, it covers everything. Obviously, the OVAs look way better than this old 1997 TV series. But this 1997 TV series is the only one that has the Black Swordsman arc in it. Because the 2016 computer animated series, which, I know it looks like crap, but it's still Berserk, so I'm not gonna dog it that hard. I mean, it was a lot of people's first exposure to Berserk before the manga. But yeah, this is probably a must buy if you're a Berserk fan, or if you've never seen Berserk and you want to get into Berserk. This is a great way to get into it, because this is how I got into it. And I have another share from this, and this is coming in March along with the others. But yeah, there is a close-up of the actual what the box is going to look like. Now they have a couple of different covers. I'm not going to show them all off. But yeah, as you can see, it's all 25 episodes. They're all like 30 minutes a piece or so. And they all have that wonderful, wonderful music that... God, I forget the composer now, but he's so awesome. He built the soundtrack for these because he loved this series so much. Susumu Hirasawa. Can you tell I'm a bit of a Berserk nerd?
I think you might have heard of the series once or twice. I
Yeah.
think I might have heard you mention it.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, here we go, guys. It's in March. March is going to be a huge bunch for Discotech. I have not even seen this on pre-order yet. So
I mean, just kind of in general, like that entire list of stuff that they had announced is like jam-packed with stuff. And while not every single title is going to be a hit, like I'm certainly not going to be running out to go and nab every single one of these or anything. But I mean, there are just a number of other ones. Like they even started doing a couple of Japanese movies, Japanese films that have, and giving those some international release rights. Like,
they've done some samurai films. They did the Cutie Honey the Live series.
And just to pull up a couple of other little things in here that got my attention, or at least caught my interest. I think we should be okay to show this.
Sex and Fury. I've never even seen this.
Wow.
Me neither. But announcing Sex and Fury. Hey, you got your fury in my sex. Hey, you got your sex in my fury. Remember when we released Female Yakuza Tale? Here's the first one. Reiko Ike stars as Ocho Inoshika, and a petty criminal. Inoshika, a petty criminal who have witnessed a murder and wants to avenge her father. Directed by the legendary pervy action director Norifumi Suzuki. Brand new in HD transfer in Japanese with the English subtitles. Coming in 2024.
Interesting. You know, I have a subscription to HBO Max, and I was actually surprised to find that the HBO Max has oh god, what the hell is the name of that show? Man, my brain is just hurting today. I'm tired. I've been at work all day.
You thinking about Hanzo the Razor?
Hanzo the Razor. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's got Hanzo the Razor, all 3 episodes, and it's been on HBO Max for a while. So my thought is they must be getting that one ready for another DVD copy, and I believe I have seen somewhere that they are going to be re-releasing Hanzo the Razor on Blu-ray. Which, if you've never seen that, wow.
Pretty good stuff.
It's good stuff, but it's definitely something you're gonna want to watch with friends that you really trust, by yourself, or with somebody who has a really, really healthy dose of humor.
No kids.
Yeah, no children anywhere near your house if you watch it.
So, one or two other little things that certainly caught my attention, and I was kind of chomping at the bit to talk about, was a pair of Lupin the Third films that are getting the cleaned up Blu-ray international release.
Secret Page of Marco Polo.
Which, what can I say? I'm a bit of a sucker for that sort of globe trotting international kind of spies and all that kind of shtick.
I believe Clyde is too.
To some extent, yes.
So, just with the title alone of the Secret Page of Marco Polo, it has my interest. I want to see where this one goes. But in addition to that, we also have the 2013 film, The Princess of the Breeze.
Ooh.
And if none of those quite catches your itch for the Lupin the Third franchise, might I point you to the many other series movies and series that they've gone and done the physical releases for, including the beloved Red Shirt series, series 2, which got that infamous dub that we saw on Adult Swim.
Nice.
And look at that. One of them is 4K.
And bear in mind, there still isn't everything, because that was like 23, 24 films, plus Shout Factory has that 2019 one, that CG film. So there is a lot of Lupin in here. Oh, and of course down here as well, a couple of the crossovers with Detective Conan.
There are a few of those I've kind of been after, but not like... Lupin's not really like one of my biggest interests. I'm kind of more into your, fighting anime type stuff, which is why I'm actually interested in this next one that's coming out.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I think you do, because you're the one who shared this one with me, and I've never even seen this before. But Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple Attack of Darkness. It's 11 episodes, never released in English, Japanese with subtitles. I'm excited because it's another fighting anime / manga that I have never seen before. And, everybody knows I like fighting anime.
Well, and the other thing about this that really holds it up is the fact that almost the entire original cast for the previous 2 series that had English dubs are going to be reprising the roles.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So I could actually pull up what they had up for the list of those.
Okay.
Which, it's the names don't. Oh, then again, Christopher Sabat sticks out to me as a name.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
But if you were going to go check this out, then I would suggest you go and pick up the prior two seasons first.
Yeah, I will have to do that just so I can catch up with it, because now I'm curious about it. I want to see if it's any good, and I have to have something to do, between, anxiously waiting for more Kengan Ashura.
Malachi. There's what? No Matt Mercer.
No Matt Mercer, lame. Speaking of which, I over the break I did catch up on Goblin Slayer season 2, and I really enjoyed it. It's definitely not a happy series, and I suspect it's not going to have a happy ending. But it is what it is. What it is.
So yeah, that's at the very least we're off to a bit of a good start for 2024. I mean, it sucks that Best Buy is pulling out all the physical media sections, but we've got other alternatives we can go turn to. I mean, if you can find the time to be bothered to spend 5 minutes to look these things up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this kind of dovetails into something that I came across earlier. Some person who I shall not name on Twitter had these wise words of wisdom saying, friendly reminder saying you should own physical media to someone who can't watch something on a streaming service is like telling a person who rents to just buy a house. It's a huge upfront cost and many can't afford it. It's not a helpful suggestion. That person's already getting, wasted 7 ways from Sunday for saying something that stupid. But my particular take on it was very simple. I replied that physical media is the only way to ensure that what you watch is protected. Meaning they can't go back in and edit it and change it like they did with things like Splash and various other things that you might enjoy. And also that increasingly as physical media begins disappearing in the wake of streaming, it will gain value in resale. I point in particular to my copy of Bride of the Reanimator. Try finding a physical copy of it now. I paid $100 for it. And it's only going to go up because it's not being reprinted or anything right now. So, I have a copy.
Even if you want to argue getting the player is expensive. Well, not really. I'm looking at a DVD player on Amazon for $40.
Yeah, players are not expensive anymore. And physical media is just the way to go.
And that's DVD.
Yeah. Blu-rays still a little bit more expensive, but it's still worth it. The picture quality, I have definitely become kind of a Blu-ray snob versus DVD. In fact, that's why I'm transferring a lot of I'm buying up Blu-ray to get rid of my old DVD collection. So, but yeah, I've got stuff that is not even reprinted in Blu-ray, like The Duelists. Yeah, try finding a copy of that. And there's other things too. And I'm not buying this stuff because I'm a collector or because I'm, speculating and trying to raise the value and stuff like that. Criterion will eventually get around to, putting out special editions of this stuff, or they'll be re-released under Arrow Video or somebody else. I just want to have it to watch it again because these were great shows that I enjoyed growing up. And I think it's cool to have them, to be able to have those memories. And, kind of getting back to something I came to the realization the other day, my dad passed away in the summer in July. And not too long ago, I started thinking about it because we had to clean out a lot of his stuff, and, including the old chair that he sat in and some of the other things. And it started kind of getting to me a little bit. And, then I thought about it, my dad was never particularly attached to any particular material thing. And I think he must have realized at some point the same thing that I now realize, which is your stuff is just stuff. The only thing that makes it valuable is the memories that you attach to it and the value you put on it. And of course, there's the scarcity, which has an intrinsic value, of course. But, there are things which are not scarce that I own that are easy to get a hold of, but I still value them because they have a lot of sentimental value to me. Like my special edition of Blade Runner or my special edition copy of The Thing. These are things that matter to me. Not because they have intrinsic value for sale or because somebody's going to want them really bad because they're hard to find, but just because they mean something to me. And when I die, somebody else is going to get this stuff, and I don't know what they're going to do with it, Take it to a pawn shop and sell it for $1? I don't know.
I believe it was George Carlin George Carlin had a bit where he says, your stuff is stuff, but other people's stuff is just shit. Move your shit. I got to put my stuff there.
Yeah. But it's true. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I don't mind opening the G.I. Joes and all that stuff, because I'm not going to resell it. Who would I resell it to? If somebody wants to buy it off me, that's fine. I mean, easy come, easy go. The stuff that matters to me is, maybe the Sergeant Slaughter stuff. Other than that, everything else I could sell, and I don't care. I could sell it for less than what I bought it. It doesn't mean that much to me. It doesn't mean as much to me as like my original G.I. Joe figures, because I have more memories attached to those than these new things.
Right.
But it's me getting all mushy and sentimental. But the moral of the story, kids, buy physical media because they can't take it away from you. And it'll always be there for you to share it with somebody else or loan it to somebody else if you trust them. Digital images and all that stuff, they come and they go. You see them, they're gone. They don't mean anything. Half the movies you see in Hollywood these days, you watch them and you forget about them. They don't mean anything. So what matters is the stuff that you feel compelled to go out and own a physical copy of, because then that means you attach some value to it beyond just, a one-time watch. It's something you cared enough about to watch multiple times, or you want to share it with somebody else and you want to have the convenience of, hey, I got this Blu-ray, and we can just pop it in and watch it. I did watch the latest Transformers movie, by the way, guys, the Beast one.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I did. I didn't think it was that bad, really. I mean, I liked all the Transformers movies. I'll be honest. I don't hate on any of them. Do I like some more than others? Yeah. This one was kind of neat, just because instead of Bumblebee being the lead character, it was Mirage, and I thought it was kind of cheap. Because, they kill Bumblebee. Spoiler. Yeah, they kill Bumblebee in the show. And my first thought was, did they not learn anything from the original Transformers movie about killing off beloved characters?
Right.
And then, of course, by the end, it was like, oh, yeah, they brought him back. Okay, yeah, I figured that would happen. But, yeah, it was pretty good. It was a little anticlimactic because you really expected them to have a big fight with Unicron, and I guess they're saving that for another movie or something. But I don't know. I didn't think it was too bad. What did you guys think?
I'll be honest, I still haven't seen it.
Oh, so I just spoiled everything for you.
I mean, to be fair, though, it's not like these movies necessarily had any sort of consistency when it came to plot.
So true.
Well, T-shirt, you haven't spoiled everything on it, but
no.
But I saw it, and I mean, I don't know that my opinion means anything, because I will basically watch any Transformers movie. But I mean, they're not cinema, but they're fun, and this last one was fun too.
Mm-hmm.
There's like maybe one or two of them that I think are like, ugh. That kind of hurt.
Yeah. And Archer has a good point. He says, yeah, there's a question of DVD BR extras. Do you get those with digital downloads? And there's a question of your digital supplier losing the license. Yeah. That is the other reason to buy physical. The extras are fun to watch if you sit down and have time to watch them. I've learned a lot more about some of these films, and so I'm a little bit more savvy about film trivia on certain films than most people. But I'm a historian. I like history anyway. But yeah, there is the question of them being able to keep the digital product. I mean, how many times have you bought something digitally, like on Amazon or something, and they stop being able to carry it, or they don't carry it anymore, and you just lose access to it, and you're just boned. You're just boned. If you have a physical copy, you always have a physical copy to watch. You know, you may have to hunt down a player or something and a TV to watch it on, but you'll always have it. So, something I want to bring up. I just finished this, and I figured it was worth talking about because I believe Optimus will love this one.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And I have something to lead into with it. But
Ooh.
I finished this. Yesterday. I have to admit, once I started it, I really had a hard time putting it down. I've read the original story by H.P. Lovecraft, but to see Go Tanabe illustrate it and bring Innsmouth to life in that beautiful black and white style.
Great work.
Yeah, it's amazing work. And, Optimus, you have the Mountains of Madness, so you're familiar with his work.
Yes, thank you. And it's kind of perfect as far as an adaptation, in my opinion. It helps to have the visuals and to have that artist present them. It really helps.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
I mean, let me just look at the detail. I mean, this is the crumbling, town of Innsmouth, with the roofs and everything falling in, and the decaying architecture and everything. And every single panel conveys just how dark and horrific that this place really would be to have to live in. I mean, it doesn't quite convey the stench, because the stench is frequently spoken of in the book and in the story. I mean, Lovecraft was apparently in love with things that smelled bad. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's just
Pretty. I
Yeah.
can't wait to get my hands on that sometime.
Yeah, well, I think it's only like $20. I would definitely snag it. He did this. He did the 2-part At the Mountains of Madness. He did a short story H.P. Lovecraft collection, which is worth checking out. I have it, and it's very good. I have everything that's Go Tanabe H.P. Lovecraft. And then something came across my recommended list.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me see if I can snag a picture of it first. Yes, I can. Uno momento. Let me bring it right up for you. We're professionals here. We know how to use our cameras and stuff. Yeah. So this is coming out in July 30th.
Oh, man.
It is $19.99 right now if you buy it. And if it gets cheaper, Amazon will give it to you cheaper, but you can pre-order it right now. And it's the big one, guys. That's Cthulhu himself on the cover.
Big Sea Dog.
I'm really excited to read this. I kind of wondered when he'd get around to it. So, and it's by Dark Horse Publishing. just like the other ones are. God, I gotta say, man, Dark Horse is well named for a company, for a comic book company, because it's like they really have managed to kind of stay under everybody's radar, but they keep releasing just consistently great stuff.
Wait, which company was that?
Dark Horse Publishing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Dark Horse is one of the greats, and the other one that I keep an eye out for is Seven Seas.
Yeah, Seven Seas, where all their stuff is printed in Lithuania. Good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, July can't get here soon enough for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I will let you guys know how that is after I get a chance to check it out. And I did have one final thing pop in. Right here.
Ooh.
By our good friend, the Basic Expert, who we had on this channel to talk about this. This is the drive-through RPG version. I will add. So this is not even the really, really good one that he's getting together and sending out. But already this is a very fine product. I mean, it looks good. Of course, I mean, we've already gone over the layout and everything. You can, if you want to know more about this particular product, you can go back and watch that video and see our interview. But yeah, if you are wanting some things to add to your OD&D campaign, or you just want to start something very different and historically authentic, you really can't do much better than this if you like Aztec, and ancient Indian type stuff. But it's gorgeous. It's well written. I particularly like this cosmology bit here that affects your character's background depending on when they were born, whatever their zodiac sign is, and what kind of bonuses it gives your character. In addition to their social status and stuff. I think John put a lot of work and a lot of detail on this, and I think it was well worth the purchase price. I mean, I paid $60. I got this. I got the PDF, and then I'm still waiting on the deluxe edition of the book, which has got that gorgeous black cover and everything. So, well worth it. I don't know if I guess by now he's probably selling versions of this on DriveThruRPG. Pick it up. You probably will not be disappointed. So there you go. That's kind of it for my show and tell tonight. It's a lot, but it's all stuff that's kind of been relating to what we've been talking about tonight.
Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. Not only has it been a lot of kind of it's stuff that we're getting in hands, it's stuff that's coming up that we've got some excitement for. It's a pretty positive stream today.
Mm-hmm.
So should we ruin it by talking about Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah, I was about to jump into that. So, unlike the Basic Experts Macahuitl book, apparently Wizards of the Coast is now has been using AI art, and they got caught for it. So yeah, this is an article in Forbes, as you can see. But as it says, the use of AI art across various mediums continues to accelerate, and now it's made its way into two controversies involving Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, and Respawn's Apex Legends. Both accused of using AI art, or at least AI human-touched art, for various promotions. The larger case is probably what's going on with Wizards of the Coast, as after they were accused of using AI art in a promotional piece, they doubled down, telling players they were confused by it being different than Magic card art, and that it was created by humans and not AI. It says that hundreds of people pointed out inconsistencies with the artwork, which had clear signs of AI generation, leaving a few options on the table that WotC was either not telling the truth about the art, or whoever the artist was hadn't told them the truth, or that there's a third option that combines AI art and human touch-ups that they've been trying to pass off on a technicality, which may be most likely. Now, hear me out. I've used some AI art generator stuff just for fun.
Same.
And a lot of it comes out really nice, but yeah. It's if you're an artist that works in a digital medium, it's very tempting to just have the AI generate something for you and then going back in and touching it up and fixing it the way you want it to. A lot of artists are kind of doing that these days. So my feeling on it is kind of like the genie is out of the bottle as far as AI art goes and AI writing, and we can't put it back now.
And that's kind of largely been my stance on it. It's here, and while I ultimately would rather see, an actual artist doing the work, I think people by and large are going to have to accept it's here, and it's only going to get easier and more elaborate.
Yeah. This is update. Wizards of the Coast is backtrack saying that the image did in fact have AI elements, which may have been due to Adobe Photoshop's new use of AI. Uh-oh. But they're investigating how they work with artists and outside partners for content like this. My take on it's pretty simple. Artists will use any kind of tools and medium that they can to create work. And obviously, a more successful artist is going to find the fastest way to turn out decent looking work. And you can't beat AI. It's so fast. It's even faster than the digital rendering that I do, which takes hours of setup time and hundreds of dollars of my own personal funds in order to set up the pictures before I actually render them. Plus, I usually have to go back and retouch a few things.
Also, eventually, a work will come along, be it most likely some sort of movie or animated product that is going to be like entirely animated, that will be so good people are going to have no choice basically but to admit it has the potential, it can be good. Mm-hmm. That are just stubbornly stick to their guns and hate it purely for the sake of hating it. Yeah. I think there will still be a market for traditional art and traditional artists, certainly. You can use AI to try to recreate a Picasso, but it won't actually be a Picasso because it won't necessarily have his touch. And those things are still going to have inherent value. So I don't think it's going to put artists out of business, but it's certainly going to change the way that artists work, and it's going to become another tool in their toolbox, especially where it comes to digital art creation for things like magazines and books and stuff like that. As far as movies and stuff, well, we already know that Hollywood is already pretty much quaking in their boots about using Chat GPT and all that for scripts and stuff.
I wonder something though. I wonder if any of this could put human generated art at a premium. If that would happen to the market, where you're actually where the human generated work, at least the good stuff, is valued more highly than in something you could just generate with AI. And yeah, that's just something I'm just kind of starting to wonder about. Like, I imagine AI art. I imagine that what we'll see is AI artists will come in and offer to do like at half the cost, or some sort of fraction of the cost.
and you'll see basically a hierarchy, a tier of wanting to get certain looks, and people who are skilled with knowing just how to word things just right to come up with exactly what the customer wants.
Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of falls into the old triple adage, you know. You can, you have 3 options on the table. You can only pick 2. Do you want it fast? Do you want it good? Or do you want it cheap? So I think it's going to come down to, what do you want? You know, people who don't have a lot of money and need to get projects out quickly, they're going to rely on AI art almost exclusively, or they're going to rely on artists who can manipulate AI art to a degree that it looks really good for the price that they're paying. But yeah, I think more, I guess, elite publishing and stuff will have like 100% human created art as as their exclusive thing. Hey, yeah, you're paying more, but it's because, you're paying for a real artist's eye and a real artist's talents versus, a machine. So the scary thing comes when the machine gets so perfect that you absolutely can't tell the difference between the real human and the machine. But I don't quite think we're there yet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe another 15, 20 years?
Maybe. This also makes me wonder, though, besides the idea of maybe it putting a premium on human-generated art, I wonder if we could wind up in a situation where, the people, like, let's say in terms of a franchise or something that has the potential to become a franchise, if you're thinking in terms of film or comic books maybe and other things, people develop the initial, I don't know, framework, story, world, and narrative, and then they just rely on the AI art to cookie cutter subsequent content.
Might be. I do see some things posted up on Twitter every once in a while, where somebody has tried to use AI art to recreate something like a Frazetta, and sometimes it gets pretty frighteningly close.
See, it's not until you put it in those terms that I really start to have a problem. But I mean, I've loved Frazetta for so long that I'm like, please don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's inevitable. Because, obviously Frazetta is no longer with us. Picasso's no longer with us. Hell, even, Kentaro Miura is no longer with us. But let's say I were working on, Berserk, and I was trying to finish that story. How hard would it be for me to tell, the computer's like, hey, I need you to, generate a panel of, Berserk, of Guts fighting, Griffith, like in Berserk, in the style of Kentaro Miura, and then just go from there on tweaking your prompt and then maybe cleaning it up to where it looks almost indistinguishable from an actual Miura panel.
Good point.
So,
well, it's like you pointed out earlier today how Boris Vallejo doesn't look so hot lately, and I wonder if he could be yet another art. I mean, from what I've seen of AI generated art, his original stuff looks almost exactly like AI art.
Yeah, or they've fed so much Boris into it that it has learned how to ape it. Right. And Boris is 83 years old, man. He ain't getting any younger.
I've got an example or two of pieces that I had kind of worked into an AI program.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you one right here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys got to come back by over the Cotton Council. It's been getting a little crazy. Like we apparently we needed to have a new place for all the puppets to hang out at, and so Le Puppet Hole.
That's great.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's definitely got its flaws. Like, you know, if we start looking at some of the details, like the feet on the one over here, the two different shoes here, but I mean, the eyes are even not quite there. But it's pretty good for just kind of like a 2-minute attempt.
Yeah, for a backdrop.
Yeah, that too.
A few minor touch-ups and you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, you know, the genie is out of the bottle. You can't put it back. People are just going to have to come to terms with it, and we're going to have to find, you know, ways to deal with it. And we're still going to have to find ways to celebrate the humans that go into these things, or that still create art by hand. I mean, you know, I mean, I guess a good example is, okay, you can go buy a piece of crap katana from a mall for $50, right? Be made out of 440 stainless steel. It'll break as soon as you hit something with it with any force, because it's butter knife steel. It's crap. You could buy a slightly better one for $100. It'll be mass produced. It may hold up slightly better. It's still not going to be like an authentic original or anything. Or you can go to Japan. You can pay, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to have a swordsmith create, you know, a one-of-a-kind work for you. You know, done in the traditional style, out of tamahagane and, you know, on an old forge. So I guess it's kind of like what I was saying with stuff earlier. It's like, you know, these things all have value in them as to what you put into it or what you put on it. You know, what's worth it to you? Is it worth it to have the, you know, the slightly more expensive $100 sword that cuts well and looks okay and, you know, performs functionally? You know, or do you really want to go the extra mile and get the good one from Japan? Or are you just okay with the $20 butter knife steel piece of shit? You know?
I mean, it there's like a, you know, this whole spectrum of range there. I mean, like, what is your need and what is your budget?
Yeah. What is your need? What is your budget? Pick two. You want it fast? You want it cheap? Or do you want it good?
Right.
We're out of time, but I did want to show one last thing off, courtesy of Optimus Clyde.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. If you just happen to wander by Japan, yes, they have the Godzilla burger, apparently. It's a thing.
Right.
And I think that thing in the middle is like is it a chicken sandwich? Or a pork cutlet or something?
I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to read all the captions. I found those on Facebook. And I thought I'd sent you a second image of whoever's page that is.
Yeah.
Took a photo of what they actually ordered.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny. I showed this to somebody else earlier today, and the first thing they picked up on is they said, "Are the buns designed to look that way to remind you of Godzilla's scales?" And I said, "You know, I didn't pick up on that." So that's kind of cool.
Godzilla hide.
Yeah. We'll never see it over here in the United States, of course, but you know.
That's okay.
Does Japanese not have the word new? Yes, it does. Oh, God. You would have to ask me, huh? There's an actual word for new made katanas versus old katanas. Oh, damn it. Give me just a moment. Shinto is the word. So yeah, Shinto refers to new swords or modern katanas. Shinto. Even if they're made, up to the traditional standards and everything else, they're still called Shinto. Now, fake ass, the cheap ass mall swords are called Gansaku. So there you go. There's your words for today.
Oh, and one little bit of comic news. Apparently IDW is renewing the license for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Not a series I'm really hyped about, but I know some people will be interested. Tom from Midnight's Edge probably be excited about that.
Right. Well, I mean, from what I've understood, like it basically fell off around like issue 100 or so, as they went real big into their new female turtle, Jenica.
Jenica, yeah. Speaking of which, I thought IDW was set to go out of business. Did they save themselves?
Well, they've apparently been able to cling to this one of the last few major licenses they still have.
Huh. So they lost G.I. Joe, they lost Transformers?
Yep, those were at Skybound being published through Image.
I would be kind of curious to see what Skybound does with it. But to me, it's just not G.I. Joe without Larry Hama writing it.
But he is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Well, hell yes, I'm going to get it now. Hell yes, I am. Larry Hama is the guy who originally wrote all the file cards for all the original G.I. Joe figures.
Yep. And maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I saw him mention that maybe they're going to be giving the old original Marvel comics a new reprint treatment that includes some of the stuff that was edited out of his original scripts that didn't make it in the first time.
That's one thing I haven't looked at, is to see if Marvel has released any like G.I. Joe omnibus collections or anything, but those would be worth getting if they ever came out.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the comics. I'm around issue like 1920 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So worth the read.
What actually happened in the comic you read last?
Let's see. Baroness sacrificed herself to save Destro.
Oh, that's the one where General Hawk got killed and Duke got pretty bunched up and Baroness got blown up and all that.
Yeah. So they're looking at there's a big old chase. Snake Eyes was seemingly thought dead in like South America, and he's hanging out with Quinn the Eskimo. Yeah.
Is that also the one where Quinn the Eskimo gets killed along with Dr. Brainwave or whatever his name is?
You mean Dr. Toxin or Dr. Poison?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were all like trapped in like a bunker in like the bottom of a river for a minute there, but they've all escaped.
Yeah. Quinn dies along with Dr. Venom at some point. After, Dr. Venom like shoots him in the back like 5 or 6 times. But I can't remember which issue that is. What I'm really excited for is for you to get to the origin of Zartan, because that is a really good comic. That particular issue was very well written, and it's one of my favorites. It's one of the ones that I remember very, very well.
I'm looking forward to looking forward to finally getting Shipwreck.
I don't even think he was that big in the comic books, to be honest.
He's always kind of been one of my favorite Joes. So like, yeah, I'm a little biased.
Well, I had the figure somewhere, so I thought enough of him to buy him.
Gotta have your favorites.
Anyway. What's that?
I said you gotta have your favorites.
Oh yeah, and they change over time too.
That's one of the things I've always been interested in ever since the days that I actually worked in a comic shop in the '90s, seeing what other people love, what gets them excited, and happy to be collecting.
Yeah. I miss those days.
Yep.
When you could go into a comic book shop and rap with the comic book owner and find out what was cool and what wasn't. But speaking of those old days, on the horizon, I think I'm supposed to be receiving it at the end of the month or so. Is Dark Horse Comics collected Fafhrd and Grey Mouse are finally hitting the hardbacks.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Oh my.
Yeah. It seems like I've had that thing on pre-order for over a year or two now, and it's finally coming out.
Is that new stuff or is that reprints of the Mignola stuff?
It's the reprints of the Mignola stuff.
Oh.
And those were good.
I've got the originals still.
Yeah, I remember you had those.
Yeah, I
Those
think
were
you
cool.
borrowed those from me. Yeah.
I did. They were good.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad? Half the time, what we talk about that we really love is stuff that's like old. I mean, look at it, man. We spend all this time talking about older Fist of the North Star stuff. Old GI Joe, old '80s movies, old '80s comics and stuff.
Hell, the older Lupin the 30 in there. Some
Yeah, old anime. Yeah.
Well, this is what I don't get about Hollywood. There's so much stuff out there that has yet to be mined, that has never been used in all this time. Good stuff if they would just take the time to develop it.
Oh, they're getting around to strip mining it. It's just what they're doing with it is disgraceful.
Well, there is that.
I mean, like, you'll probably see this before I will, Clyde. But aren't you like super duper excited for Echo?
No.
But
I'm
going
to watch it just because it's part of the continuing MCU narrative. But
it's got Kingpin. It's got Daredevil.
Yeah.
It sounds like they might have cut a lot of that out to
They did.
minimize the damage.
They did. From what I understand, Kingpin is not in it very much, and Daredevil is just basically like hi, I'm here to give this, the seal of authenticity.
Also,
sure they don't-
apparently the episode count got cut down. It went from 8 to 6 to now 5.
Yeah, it's 5. And they're releasing it all at once because they know nobody's going to sit there and watch it week to week.
And the embargo lifts the minute it starts airing on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot get a review until it's out.
Mm-hmm. Something that gets me is, all right, I did a little bit of quick research on the Echo character in the comic books, and the character can actually mimic anybody else's superpower or anybody else's talents and stuff. Basically, she's like the Taskmaster,
right,
because she's got those same photographic reflexes where she can imitate anybody's style or whatever that she sees, which is cool. And I thought, man, that's a really powerful power, because I mean, look at what Taskmaster did with it.
Yeah,
and
but
the
then
producers,
look what they did to Taskmaster.
Yeah, that was sad. And not only that, but it's kind of like the producers didn't think that was very cool, so they changed it to summoning the ancient native power stuff.
Oh yeah, they just made it racist.
Yeah, they totally made it racist. And you're a Native American, so you can say that.
Oh, like I give a shit. That's not my tribe. They can go fuck off.
Oh my gosh.
And like and I don't know if the character originally was Native American, but the thing is, there are other characters who I would be more excited to see who are Native American. I wouldn't mind seeing them going
Thunderbird.
Yeah, like I said, kind of mentioned earlier, like Thunderbird would be kind of neat to do something with because you could build him up and then you could give him like a tragic death to kind of help promote the X-Men.
Yeah, see, that would be awesome. Give Thunderbird a 5-episode series leading up to him sacrificing himself, like he did in the X-Men issue.
That makes a lot more sense.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it would, but that's, I mean, if it makes sense and it's actually going to work, they'll kill it.
Oh yeah, because instead, the first thing they do is say, "Oh, Thunderbird, John Proudstar, yeah, put a chick in it and make her gay."
And that's sort of that kind of brings me back to one of the more unfortunate things is we're not even the discussions don't even go to the comics they're adapting. No, they've moved past that. They're doing their own original things. These are not adaptations of the comics. The MCU shows are now in the driver's seat, and these aren't even in the passenger seat. No, they're crammed into the glove box or the trunk.
Thunderbird was not gay. Moonstar was gay.
Yes.
Though, if they wanted to go the route of gay X-Men, gay mutants,
yeah, Northstar.
Might I point out the most important one of them all, Northstar?
Yeah, I still remember. I didn't know about that until Clyde told me, because Clyde was working in a comic book store back then, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Northstar came out as gay," and I'm like, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah," and he pulled out the issue, showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh," but it was done very tastefully.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah,
and that's the thing though. Like, one of the big things I've always said is I think they need to do something different and kind of try to build to something big like the X-Men, because otherwise they're just kind of cramming them in haphazardly. No, I would rather see them use like Alpha Flight.
Yes. Oh
as a way to
man.
kind of kickstart it, because it's a team that's just obscure enough that basically people who've been to the comic shops have at least heard of it. You can kind of start building a little bit of that little natural attention there, and plus you can kind of take advantage much more of the beautiful Canadian landscape.
Yeah.
And then you start building up a story of the fact that like all the superhero stuff is going on, and how's that reflect things on the international scale. You can kind of get into a little bit of a political statement of, well, yeah, America has like the Avengers and all these heroes, but what about their neighbors? What's going to happen now with this super arms race?
Mm-hmm. And they could bring Byrne back to do it too. It would still be great. But I tell you what, I'm not in charge of Marvel Studios, but if I were in charge of Marvel Studios, here's what I would do. I would take, let's say your 5 principal Alpha Flight characters, Northstar and Aurora being one character. Shaman, what was her name? Not Nightbird, but Night Owl or White Owl or something. I forgot.
I've never really read them. I've always been kind of aware of them, and it's a bit of a curious book.
Yeah, Sasquatch and
Puck.
Huh?
And Puck.
Oh yeah, and Puck, and then of course not Vindicator, but the guy who was before him or before her, Guardian. Anyway, what I would do is I'd take those 6 characters, and I would create maybe a 3 or 4 episode short Disney Disney Plus show on each one of those characters that talks about their backstory and gets you interested in them and kind of gets you involved in their stories and builds them up over, a year, like let's say starting in September or something, or January, September, and then building up all the way to the summer when you have your big Alpha Flight movie that features all those same actors and characters, and this would give you some reason to watch them on Disney Plus. And even if you didn't know all the backstories behind them, by the time they get to the silver screen, they could really quickly recap how they all got together. And it would make people want to go back and watch those along with watching the movie itself.
And I've already got the stinger planned.
Huh?
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you were to go and do an Alpha Flight movie with Wolverine in it, that would just supersede every other conversation. No,
it would.
He's, no matter what you do, he's gonna be part of the conversation. But we set up and we tease and we build to him. So then you could do a sequel movie where he then leaves that team to, say, go and join the X-Men.
Yeah, that would be the way to go. And plus, it would allow them to set up other elements too, because you remember they also had to deal with Omega Flight, and Omega Flight, I believe, had Sabretooth in it originally.
Oh yeah, and also you have a
Wild Child, Box.
You have Russia, so you can kind of lean into doing a little bit of a more international like teams to fight against. They're not necessarily making them villains, but I mean, hell, you can just build up and tease Omega Red.
Yeah, that would be good too. Plus the Soviet super soldiers, but not done lame and shitty like they did in the Black Widow. Yeah, they could.
But that's nerding out for you.
I know, man. It's like, why is it these guys have the keys and the books and the talent and the creativity to, print money and turn all this superhero hate around and, make something awesome out of it. They could turn all this stuff around. They could pull their Disney Plus channel out of the shitter. They could, start revitalizing these franchises and have stuff that people want to collect and enjoy again. But instead, they're just focusing on crap. I mean, Echo with apparently everybody's favorite disability hire because she's got one leg and she's deaf and she's a Native American and she's a female. I mean, if she were homosexual, that would be the icing on the cake. But
T-shirt. It's because you're not willing to do the things they are. You're not willing to do all of the. You're not willing to do all the Hollywood things.
Oh, is that what it is?
Whatever their reasons, they have so many decades worth of lore that's already there, that's already diverse in any way you want it. All they have to do is pick the right thing and adapt it, and instead of going and finding something and trying to shoehorn it into some preconceived notion.
Exactly. Those stories were great because they were already diverse, because they told human stories of human interest that got your attention, that made you love and care about those characters. Those stories had everything that made you want to fall in love with those comics, that made you obsess over them, that make us angry about it now to see how they're being treated. We are not this passionate about things because we hate them. We are passionate about them because we love them and we hate what's being done to them.
And plus, exactly, and if they're done right, what you're doing is you're introducing a whole new audience to concepts that we already know and show them how to love these things the way we did.
Yeah. How to do it naturally and organically, not shoehorning it in by saying, oh, this old stuff was bad. We have to change it and make it more edible to, the modern consumers and crap. Just, let people love stuff. Let people enjoy it for what it was. Let people enjoy it naturally. I mean, I understand that not everything that was printed up and done back then was all wonderful and all great. I mean, yeah, we had stuff that wasn't great, but still. The stuff that was great for a reason, because it was timeless, because it was well told.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned John Byrne earlier. If they would bring him in, or maybe Claremont.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you know how many
Yeah.
X-Men fans would cream themselves if they said, we're bringing on Chris Claremont to write this X-Men movie? Man, you would have people lined up to watch that movie on the name value alone.
So, I mean, you could get any of these elder statesmen to be an advisor or to help write,
Mhm.
because they can explain it to everybody else involved and go, hey, this is how it worked and it suits your needs. So here.
Yeah. I mean, they don't need this Obed Chinoy person to make the next Star. Optimus, how excited are you to see the new Star Wars movie that's written by Obed Chinoy about Rey? This is the woman who says that she likes to make men uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, you're talking about somebody I've never heard of before they made this announcement.
Exactly, because she has no credits.
I mean, but I'm always one to take. I mean, like to take it at its. Watch the thing. See what it says and take it at its own word, and then judge it by those merits. I'm not gonna like front load it or presuppose that it's going to be this, that, or the other. I mean, I'm sure it won't live up to any of the good stuff at all. But just how
But at the
terrible
same
is it going to be
time-
is a question.
But at the same time, consider the track record. Like, has anything they've done as of late justified giving them that benefit of the doubt? Like,
Yeah.
I would suggest no.
It's like every time they get me excited to watch Star Wars again, and you can ask Clyde, man. I hated Star Wars for the longest time,
Yes.
but Clyde brought me back to it with Shadows of the Empire. And I read that, and my enthusiasm for Star Wars came back. And then...
And it's sad, though, because, I mean, that whole extended universe, they flushed.
Yeah, it's all gone now. It's all just been, we just got rid of it.
Legacy.
The prequels came out and kind of killed whatever remaining enthusiasm I had for Star Wars. So by the time the new trilogy came out, it was just kind of like, well, maybe it'll be better than the prequels. And then I saw the first episode and I was like, oh, this is dumb. I mean,
Well, I equate all this thinking to what happened in the 90s. It's all it's all PR. It's all a means. It's a marketing gimmick, is what it is. They've taken something genuine and they turned it into a vehicle to sell
toys.
sell what they want, what they're peddling to the demographic that they're after. Back in the 90s, and in the days after, I mean, in the 80s, you had the, I guess, postmodern deconstructionist stories like The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, you have every publisher translates that into the words grim and gritty, and they decide, let's apply that to every comic book we have, whether it makes sense or not.
Yeah.
And about 90% of all of that content for all of those years was just garbage with holographic foil covers on it.
Oh, God. And we bought into all that crap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were some gems there. There was definitely some interesting ideas, to be sure, but most of it was stuff you could just wipe your butt with later.
Yeah. None of it was really memorable.
Quarter bin content.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember a single issue of X-Force that really gets me excited.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't remember anything by Rob Liefeld that got me excited.
Well, at the time he drew feet.
God,
Well, I gave him a chance until he put boobs on Captain America.
I have that issue. No, I mean it's like you know Ironcaster. You can ask Clyde, man. It's like I would go into the comic book store every week, and I would buy all these new Image titles because I was sucked into the hype just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I didn't think about it at the time. I didn't think, wow, these stories are shit.
Yeah.
And this artwork is not all that good.
I'm
Thing
sure
is that art or those shit stories from like the 80s, the 80s,
90s,
early 90s.
Yeah.
They're better than the stuff we're getting now because the modern stuff is just pure and like insulting propaganda. Like I watched Highlander 2 last night and I had a blast.
Yeah, it's stupid fun.
Exactly. You can laugh.
And that's all those early Image comics were. They were just stupid fun. They were stupid, pointless comic book character fun. But you know, I would still take that trash, and I call it trash because I own a bunch of it. I would still take that trash over the stuff now that preaches at me and insults me and ruins all the characters by, you know, telling me that they were horrible and I'm a horrible person for having ever liked them. No. I don't think so, man. You can't win your fan base by insulting your fan base. You can't win, you know, I don't know, maybe they think that's what people wanted to see. Oh, well, people want to see us, you know, insult and degrade the older fans. We want to make them look bad because that's what the younger generation wants to see. They hate their parents and they hate their elders and all that, and they just want to see the characters in the comic books, you know, get one over on the elders. I don't know.
Your characters were never great.
Yeah. You just thought you were great, but really you were just insane and mean and all this, and you went about everything the wrong way, and you were homophobic and
point of privilege, like we can't call them insane because that would actually be insulting to those with mental deficiencies.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. We can't call them insane anymore. They're mentally deficient in some way.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And so anyway, I'm going to stop this show now, and I'm going to go engage in some self-hatred for having collected so many Punisher comics and movies, because I am a truly terrible person for having loved the Punisher so much.
I hope for the sake of inclusivity, you've been doing sign language to, you know, to help out the deaf community.
When the show is over, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go find a person of color, and I'm going to go apologize to them on my knees and kiss their feet and tell them I'm so sorry.
Wait, aren't you a person of color?
Oh my God, I am a person. I must go oppress myself. Find the stick. I must beat myself immediately. I'm going to go self-flagellate.
A t-shirt.
Hmm?
The name Sergeant Slaughter triggers me.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. I have hurt your feelings. But you are white, therefore I cannot hurt you. You are the enemy.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, you are a colonizer. You have oppressed my people. You have oppressed Ironcaster's people.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna trail tears now.
Oh, don't do that. Oh my gosh, guys. You guys have got some really good stuff in the private chat. I want to save it for Saturday because we're still gonna need stuff for Saturday. But yeah, this stream has already gone on too long. But I'm having so much fun. Let's go ahead and put a pin in it for now and pick up on Saturday, shall we?
Certainly.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you gents later. And those of y'all who stuck with us, thank you for hanging out with us. And if you're catching us on the replay, hey, catch us on Saturday for The Week in Geek.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, if you happen to be white, just I give you permission to give yourself a break, okay? Just give yourself a break today.
Thank you, sir.